Hello everybody, this is Casey with Lead Tech, and today I'm making a quick video to show users how to download, set up Excel and Access, and activate their Quick Decline Ultimate purchase. We've got a lot of users now, and they're having no problems using the program. They're using it efficiently. Where people are getting tripped up is in the download, the setting up of Excel and Access, and the activation. It can be a little tricky, so in this video I want to go over it real slow, take everybody step by step, because I'm assuming you've already purchased this app and you're just looking for help on how to download it, set up Excel and Access, and activate the program. And so I'm going to start organically from the very beginning and build it up. So when you make the purchase through PayPal on the website, you'll receive an email. Sometimes, depending on your email provider, like AOL, they can block the email. Usually it's not a problem, but if you found that you haven't received the email in a day, go ahead and send me an email at comments@leadtech.com, and we'll generate an email for you. Most everybody gets it within a few minutes. So anyway, this over here is actually the email that you'll receive. It basically says, thanks for purchase, blah 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 blah, but it gives you key information. It gives you your username, your password, your transaction ID. Those are the three things you'll need from here until the life that you actually own this program. So save this email and keep it forever, because you're going to use this username, password, and transaction ID over and over again as you download updates or as you activate on new machines and things like that. So this is the email you received. The first thing you want to do is click on the hyperlink within the email. What you'll see is that it brings you to a Lead Tech download site. In the download site, asks you for your username and your password. Now this is where I'm going to give you the first tip that you need to do. Instead of trying to type everything in, I highly do not recommend doing that. Instead, highlight it, press Control C, Control plus the letter C. What that does is copy. Then you come over here and you press Control V, and Control plus the letter V, and that pastes it. So I'm going to do that again with the password. Control C, Control V. And the reason I stress this so much is because I think a lot of people are making typos, and it's frustrating users, and it's creating problems. And literally it needs to be typed this exact way that you received in this email for it to check out in our database. So it's just way better to just highlight it, copy it, and paste it. The next problem you'll run into is our battle against spammers and robots. We had to put a reCAPTCHA in here to verify that you're a human. So as you can see, this is a really difficult reCAPTCHA. I'm not even going to try that. I'm going to hit this little refresh button. It grabs a new reCAPTCHA. This one's a lot easier. I'm going to go ahead and try and type this in. TROOKORSECOND. Okay. Now I'm going to hit submit. And what this does is it takes you, as a user, as you rack up different purchases on my website, you'll get different entries on this this Lead Tech download tool. Right now, this user has only downloaded Quick Decline, or purchased Quick Decline. As you purchase, Texas Production Query, or the Easy PayPal IPN tool, or just different things, you'll have a row and row and row, and so on and so forth. Right now, all I want to do is download my copy of Quick Decline. So you'll see this is the correct row for Quick Decline. Again, you'll also see your download count and your download limit. You're going to have up to 10 downloads. Basically, that means you'll have 10 updates. So as we release updates and add features, you'll be able to do that 10 times through the years before you need to make another purchase. So if you want to download the program, which we do because we just bought it, you're going to need to verify that you're human again. So this is actually an easy one, so I'm going to go ahead and try and type this one in. Looks like it's LATI or TFSH FRANCIS. Okay. Now if we typed it in right, it should. There we go. So there's our download. I'm going to save it. Okay. Hit OK. And what it's going to do is it's saved Quick Decline Ultimate to your standard download location. On most computers, it's going to be right here in your downloads folder. So I'm going to go ahead and click the downloads folder. The first thing you want to do is extract your files, because right now you can see it's a zip file. So I'm going to go ahead and extract these files right here in the downloads folder. Say OK, extract. Okay, so you see this folder that I'm in my downloads folder. All I've done is extract it. This is the folder that you want to copy and paste it to a location, that is kind of your working, wherever you put your files. In this case, I'm going to keep it in my downloads folder because I've already got a copy of this on my machine. But if I was you, I would copy this folder and I would paste it either to my desktop or, whatever filing system you have on your computer. Just put it somewhere safe, because this is where the program is and the code. And as you can see, this is the contents of the folder that you just downloaded. What you'll find in here is just some copyright notices, setup instructions. This file is the access file. It's the encrypted code that runs the program. This will always need to be in the same folder as this file. This file is the Excel front end of the program. All I'm doing is using Excel as a GUI, a graphical user interface, to kind of show the data that the code is actually creating. So this is actually just a front end. This is where all the magic happens in the code. So they've got to be together. The cool thing is you can copy and paste multiple versions of this Excel file, so that as you work on different projects, you can make copies of it and so on and so forth, just as long as you've put a copy of this in the same folder. Okay, so this is what you receive when you download the program. Most users will go straight up to the setup instructions. Because I'm creating this video for you, this video should be a setup video so that you don't have to go through this document. But basically, I'm going to go through this document in this video. So the first thing you need to do before you even try and run the program, you need to set up Excel properly, and you need to set up Access properly. So the first thing I'm going to do with you is set up Access properly. So I'm going to go to my programs. Then I'm going to go to Microsoft Office and click on Access. Now again, this program runs on Office 2007, Office 2010, and Office 2012. They all look a little different, but you'll get the general idea. They all kind of set up in the same way. So I'm going to click Microsoft Access. I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Options. See the options? Now, I'm going to go to Trust Center. Then I'm going to go to Trust Center Settings. Now, like I said, there's a couple things we need to do to set up Access. The first thing we need to do is enable all macros. Okay, enable all macros. Okay, now Access should be set up properly. So I'm going to go ahead and say OK. OK. Then I'm going to go ahead and close Access. Now it's time to set up Excel. So I'm going to go to Programs, Microsoft Office, Microsoft Excel. Now again, we're going to need to go to File, Options, Trust Center Settings. Again, Macro Settings, enable all macros. Now in Excel, there's a few other things we need to do. We need to go ahead and turn off Protected View. The next thing we need to do is go to External Content, enable all external content. It's going to allow the program to work with the corporate databases. Okay, so we're done here in the Trust Center, so I'm going to say OK. OK. Now, Access and Excel are ready in terms of the Trust Center settings. So you've allowed the macros to run, you've allowed the external connections to run, and it's not going to pull it up in protected view. It's just going to execute the program the way we intended. The next thing you need to do in Excel, I've got Excel open right now, we need to add and activate the solver add-in that comes with Excel. So we're going to go to File, I'm going to go to Options, I'm going to go to Add-ins. I'm going to, down here at the bottom, you hit the Go button. And your version of Excel probably has this unchecked that says Solver Add-in. I'm going to check it. I'm going to say OK. And it has added Solver to Excel. You're going to find Solver in this Data tab at the top right here. And it's all the way over here in the Analysis section. Some people will not have the words written right here. You'll just see these little icons. Some people you'll see the words Data Analysis and Solver. Okay, all you need, if you don't have the words, just click the icons. It works the same. So in order to get the add-in working with your version of Excel, you need to initialize the solver, and the way you do that is you click on it. You need to initialize solver, and the way I'm going to do that is set up a simple problem. In cell A1 I'm going to type the number 1, enter. In cell A2 I'm going to type the number 2, enter. And in cell B1 I'm going to say equals A1 plus B1, enter. Okay, now I'm going to go over here to the Analysis tab and I'm going to hit the solver because we need to initialize solver. So I'm going to hit it. It says set objective. My objective cell is going to be B1. Enter. I want to change it to a value of 55 by changing the cell A2. Okay, so I'm going to leave this so you can see set objective B1 to a value of 55 by changing A2. Okay, once you got that entered correctly, go ahead and hit the solve button at the bottom here. Solve, keep solver solution, and hit OK. Alright, you have officially set up Excel. You're good to go. So the next thing you want to do is launch the program. And the way you do that is you go back to that folder with your download. You go back to your your download folder that has all the files in it that you downloaded. And this is the program that the user is actually going to operate. You never operate with this directly. You're always working through this. So this is the program you double click on. It's the program that you make copies of, and so on and so forth. So right now, I'm going to double click Quick Decline to open the program. Okay, so what happened was I opened the program, everything was set up properly, so because it was set up properly, everything was allowed to execute properly, and this little activation screen popped up. This is the next step in getting the program to run. So we've downloaded the program, we've set up Excel and Access to run properly, and now we're presented with the activation form so that we can properly activate our program. And this is where I think a lot of people are getting tripped up. It's actually quite easy from here. And the first thing you want to do is click on this hyperlink right here. Okay? So go ahead and click on it. Now, what it does is it takes you to the LeetTech activation website. And it asks for several different things. A username, a password, a machine code, transaction ID, an email to receive the activation code. I'm going to go over each one of these things in detail, so don't worry like I'm passing you by. We're going to take it slow. So the first thing is username. The username is the username that came with or that you received in an email directly after you purchased the product. So you remember this email, it's the old email, it's the one I told you to save forever. It's the super important email. So again, I'm just going to copy this, Control C, Control V. Password. The password is the same password you received in this email. So I'm going to say copy, Control C, paste, Control V. Okay. Now the next one, this is tricky. This is called the machine code. The machine code is actually what was presented to you in this activation form. You'll see it right here. It's a bunch of nonsense jargon, but trust me, it makes sense to our activation forms. What you want to do is double click it. It'll highlight the machine code. You're going to press Control C. That copies it. Okay. You go back to the website and you do a Control V. Okay. So all we did was we copied the machine code from the activation form over to the activation website. The next box asks for transaction ID. This is actually located in the original email that you received after you purchased the product. So I highlighted it properly. I'm going to press Control C to copy it. And then I'm going to press Control V to paste it. Now this email to receive activation code, the reason this is here is because a lot of the username is typically pulled from the email that is set up with your PayPal. Some people use a different email account for their PayPal than they do for other things like personal accounts. So I gave the user the option to use a different email to receive the activation code. In this case, actually, I'm going to send this to my LeetTech email to receive the activation code. This is also going to be after the program is activated and running properly, and you have a saved activated version of the program. This email will pop up every time you open the program saying this person at this email has activated this program. So it's going to be displayed every time that you open the program. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my website email address. Okay. This reCAPTCHA is not that difficult, so I'm going to go ahead and attempt to type it in. Again, if it's too difficult, you can always hit the refresh button and it will display a new one that is perhaps simpler. But this one, I think I got this one, so I'm going to go ahead and submit the query. You'll see that it takes a little bit, maybe a few seconds, maybe a little bit longer, but what it's doing is it's crunching everything, running it through my databases, It verified all the input was correct, and then it sent out a new email that you should receive this email instantly. It works a little bit different than the email you received after your PayPal purchase. So this one, if you don't receive an email instantly or within a few minutes, you're going to want to try and do it again. But in this case, it worked. So I'm going to go ahead and try and pull up the email. I've already got my email account open here. I see that it's here, so I'm going to click on it. I'm going to expand it a little bit. And what you'll see within this email is a bunch of blah blah text, but the important thing is this activation code. So again, save this email. This email activates, this activation code in this email is the activation code for the machine that you are using. Again, the way the licensing works for your purchase, you can install it on as many machines that are in your house, or if you work for a company, as many machines that are in the company. If your friend wants to use it, they're going to need to purchase their own copy. If another company wants to use it, they're going to need to purchase their own copy. So basically, this is the code for the machine I'm using right now. So again, I'm going to highlight it to avoid typos. I'm going to press Control-C to copy it. Go back to Excel, and you'll see down here at the bottom, where my mouse is where your activation code goes. So I'm going to press Control-V. Boom, it typed it in. As you can see, there's a couple other things that are required on this form. These are all easy. They came from this email, your original email, the one that I told you to save forever. So I'm just going to do this real quickly since you've already seen this. I'm going to go Control-C to copy my email. Control-V. Control-C to copy the password. Control-V to paste it. Transaction ID is right here. Make sure you highlight it properly. You don't want to get any blanks. Control-C. Control-V. And lastly, the email that received the activation code. That was my website's email. For you, it's going to be whatever you put into that form that we previously talked about. It's the email that received the activation code. So like I said, you can see my Elite Tech email was the one that received this activation code. So I'm going to go ahead and type it in properly with the proper uppercase, lowercase. In this case, it's all lowercase. Now, once you're confident that you have your username, your password, your transaction ID, your email that received the activation code, and the activation code, once you're confident that you've got that all in there properly, go ahead and submit activation. And boom, we're activated. So these next few steps are really important. You're going to want to go OK, hit the OK button. Now, because this is my first time to use this, and because I'm not at work and I don't have a well database per se here at home, but you may have a well database at your work. This is where you point to the well database. Your database guy at your work can set this up super easy. It's not difficult. You just click on the one that is your well database and it takes care of the rest. In this case, I'm working from home. I don't have a database. I don't care about this, so I'm hitting the cancel. And you'll get this little message that says, if you want to use the well database feature, you can. If you don't, no big deal. Just hit the OK button. Okay, remember that we just activated this copy. So it's really, really important to hit the save button immediately. So I went up here to the little save button, I hit it. You can also go to File, Save. So what we did was we saved an activated version of this quick decline program, and it's right here. So now I have the so now next time I open it, I'm never going to have to go through that activation process again unless I try to run it on another machine. If I want it to run on another machine, I'm going to have to go through the activation process one more time. But now that it's a fully activated version of the program, I'm going to demonstrate that you can copy it, you can paste it, and you can give it a new name. You know, I'm going to make something up here like, you know, I'm going to call this my Haynesville project. And then, you know, you can make as many, you can make a Barnett project, you can make a Marcellus project, you know, you can have as many copies as you want because they're all activated. I'm going to go ahead and close this just so you can see what it's like to open it for the first time after you've properly activated it. So again, I copied and pasted this new version of it. I didn't have to. I could easily click on this one. It's activated as well. But I want to show you the new one that I made a copy of. I'm going to hit I'm going to double click it to open it. And you'll see it's bleeping at me. That's because there's a little message box that popped up. It basically says this version has been activated. It's been activated to this user. That was the user that received the activation email. And it gives you, you know, if this is not you, please, you know, go grab your own copy, so on and so forth. But basically you can see it's an activated copy, it's up and running. Again, you're going to get this little deal if to set up your well database. I don't care about this, cancel, okay. And here we go, we're up and running. You know, the program's working, type stuff in, changes the curve. You know, type stuff in, changes the curve, everything's working as normal. Go to economics, you'll see that it calculates, everything is working peachy. Okay, so that's all I wanted to show you today. We've successfully downloaded, we've set up Excel and Access properly, and then we activated the program properly. Not only that, I demonstrated that you can make copies of the program itself so that you can have different projects, and you can actually move your new copied version to a different folder. I'm going to demonstrate this real quick. Let me demonstrate. I didn't get a chance to demonstrate this. I'm going to close this. No reason to save it because it's already been activated. I'm actually going to going to put this copy in a new folder to show you how to move things between folders. If you move it to a new folder, always make a copy of the access file because this is the code that runs the program. So you can see I've got a copy of the access file here so that this guy can run properly. And then I have a copy of the access file here so that these guys can run properly. So I'm going to, just to demonstrate that, I'm going to go to my new folder, double click on this little guy, and it pulled it up, shows me the little activated form, everything's working great, and boom, we're off and running. You can see that, you know, I can type it in, works, everything's fine. So again, one more time, we've gone over everything. We've gone over how to download, how to set up Excel and Access, how to activate the program, how to make copies, how to move it between folders. And this is the one video that you should spend time. Go slowly through the video. If you're having problems, just creep through the video. We've gone through everything organically. If you have any more issues, just go ahead and email me at comments@leetdeck.com. We can, if you still have a lot of problems, we can set up a desktop sharing session. But anyway, thanks for watching. This is Casey with LeetTech, and more importantly, thanks for purchasing the program.